Good afternoon, Kitchissippi. It is Saturday, September the 28th. This is a video version of the 406th Kitchissippi Ward Weekly Newsletter. My usual reminder, we have lots more information about the issues and topics we'll discuss in this video in that weekly email newsletter, to which you can subscribe at kitchissippiward.ca. A couple of ward events that are coming up I wanted to let folks know about. I have been hosting or organizing a ward forum or town hall that is coming up on the evening of November the 7th. We're going to hold that in person at Bayview Yards. The ward forum is an opportunity to visit some of our community partners. We're going to hear from the Ottawa Public Library CEO, Sonia Bebbington, about the new Adisoke Library that is being built downtown. And there will be a generously timed question and answer town hall format to ask me the questions that are on your mind. And we have a 2025 budget consultation coming up that is going to be held jointly with Councillor Troster from Somerset Ward, that will be held on October the 16th. Stay tuned to the newsletter for how to register and more information about those events, but hold the date. I am hosting pop-up office hours on October the 3rd. Those are going to be held from 9:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. at the bridgehead that is on McRae. So pop-up office hours are a chance to come by anytime during those hours. Chat with me one-on-one about whatever is on your mind without appointment. Our last ones at the Second Cup a couple of days ago were wildly busy, so looking forward to the continued engagement. Another reminder that there is in-person zoning workshops that are being hosted by the city. You know, we have a new comprehensive zoning bylaw that is making its way through the legislative process. We should pass that sometime toward the end of 2025. There are a number of in-person sessions to drop by, get more information about what that zoning bylaw is. October 1st, it'll be at Ray Friel. October 8th at John G. Mlakek Center. October 15th at Fred Barrett. October 22nd, which is the closest to us, it will be at City Hall. And then on November 5th at the Confederation Education Center. More information in the newsletter. The Committee of Adjustment is busy on October the 2nd. There are several applications. I've run through these before, I know. At 497 Roosevelt, the owners are seeking variances associated with the construction of a two-story detached dwelling. They need a bunch of variances if they're going to be allowed to do that. City staff have now weighed in and provided their comments that they have no concerns. At 265 and 325 Bloomfield, they're looking for a number of variances associated with a few buildings at that corner. Staff have expressed some concern to the Committee of Adjustment, mostly with respect to trees. At 633 Edison, the owners are seeking to sever the lot, construct a detached and a semi-detached dwelling. A bunch of variances being sought. There are concerns that are being expressed by staff. I would characterize them as relatively strong, related to the room that's going to be taken up if that goes through for parking, and the resulting diminishment of the area that's available for soft landscaping. And at 130 Kenilworth at the corner of Holland, the owner is seeking to subdivide to create separate properties for each of the lots. There's a variance triggered as a result as some side yard parking becomes front yard parking. Staff have expressed no concern. And the agenda is online now for Panel 1's October the 16th meeting. At 484 Roosevelt, the owner is seeking to divide the property in two to build two long semis with a shared driveway. At 455 Dawson, the owner is seeking permission for reduced lot areas for the construction of a two-story semi-detached dwelling containing 6 units. And at 451 Roosevelt, something I haven't seen before, the owner is requesting the cancellation of a previously approved consent to sever. There's some sort of structural problem with the existing dwelling. The plan has to be reworked, so he is seeking, or they are seeking, a cancellation of the previous severance approval. And we also have one decision from the September the 18th meeting at 533 Broadhead. The application for a consent to sever was granted. The application at 461 Tweedsmuir was adjourned sine die. Some community events to come up. There's an OCD walk in Hintonburg on October the 6th. Anxiety Ottawa and Changing Minds have combined forces to organize a team for the International OCD Foundation's 1 Million Steps for OCD walk. That walk is going to be held on October the 6th at 11 a.m. in Hintonburg. I've got some information about how to register for that in the newsletter. Kitchissippi United is hosting its rummage sale on October 18th and 19th. That's going to be held at Kitchissippi United, which is on Island Park Drive, sort of tucked near the Queensway. The Parkdale Right to Food event, Big Block Party, is being held on October the 5th. That's going to be from noon until 4 p.m. 5 Hamilton North at the Minoisni Food Center. There is, and it is iWalk Month. It's Celebrate International Walk to School Month. It encourages students to arrive at school by walking or wheeling their way to school. Active transportation can help students concentrate in school, build communities around your neighborhood, and keep the school zone safe. There's a poster to which I've linked in the newsletter with ideas about how you can celebrate International Walk to School Month. At City Hall, of course, we have a number of council and committee meetings coming up. I think I mentioned last week the Finance and Corporate Services Committee is meeting on October the 1st. It's a relatively beefy agenda. It'll deal with things like uncollectible property taxes, a revenue split between citywide and ward associated with the West Carleton Environmental Center, a land exchange between the Barrhaven Conservancy and the city being proposed. Spark Street BIA is looking for an expansion of their boundary, and there will also be an update on the Affordable Housing Community Improvement Plan. Hundreds of units falling under that. That has worked out really well. It's a stackable tax credit that can work with other affordable housing programs to get some more affordable housing being built. That's been well received by both the private and not-for-profit sectors. City Council is going to meet on October the 2nd. It'll be a much less fraught meeting than we had 2 weeks ago. I expect that we'll spend our time largely confirming the recommendations that came out of committee work over the past couple of weeks, including on the idling bylaw and on the snowplow licensing regime. I think the headline item will likely be around the new voluntary contributions framework. You may remember some controversy around developers making voluntary contributions into wards. There was a brouhaha at City Council. A group of City Councillors went away as a working group, have come up with a framework that looks a lot like what Toronto already has in place. I've had a fairly careful read of the framework. I had a lot of concerns previously. Those concerns are addressed now. I hope we pass that fairly quickly and put that issue, which is largely a political one, to bed. Agriculture and Rural Affairs has a nifty little meeting coming up on October the 3rd. They're going to deal with a rezoning on Smith Road. Notably, there will be consideration of a second round of omnibus amendments to the official plan. That's a big long list of usually technical or housekeeping items that need to be done in order to bring our bylaws and official plan in line with what council intended when we passed it. I've been looking closely at that. I've had some conversations with some other councillors and communities around some of the items that are in there. I think we're largely in a position to be able to pass that as technical or housekeeping items. There will also be consideration of amendments to the site alteration bylaw. I haven't taken a close look at that. That is always usually a subject of discussion among some of our climate and green space stakeholders. I'm curious to hear how that debate unfolds, but they're going to take a look at the site alteration bylaw at that AIRAC meeting on October the 3rd. On October the 8th, the Built Heritage Committee is going to meet. Again, it's become a very busy committee, a lot of different permissions and designations. Importantly for our ward, the developer exercised the statutory right to appeal the designation of 501 coal. Not unexpected. I'm not losing any sleep over this one. The city has come back and recommended that the committee stay the course with a heritage protection for 501 coal. And then I expect we're going to have a number of delegations out to speak to the designation of parts of the Federal Studies Center that's on Heron Road. That is the subject of a potentially large development by the federal government, by Canada Lands. The designation is part and parcel of that. Neighbors in the vicinity of the development or future development have concerns about the density and things like that. I expect that they will be out to voice some of those concerns at this heritage meeting. And then the Planning and Housing Committee is going to meet on October the 9th. Our agenda includes rezonings on Greenbank, Reno, March Valley, as well as the same big omnibus report that AIRAC is going to deal with on the 3rd. And Build Ottawa, which is the new name for the Ottawa Land Development Corporation, also has a number of amended bylaws that it has to bring in front. I believe those are consequential to the passing of the ONCA legislation that has led to so many organizations having to redo their bylaws. It looks like housekeeping. I've had a chance to take a look at those bylaws in my capacity as a member of Build Ottawa, and I don't see any red flags there. Kitchissippi, I hope you have a great week. It is a beautiful summer day. I'm at Van Lang, where we are consulting on what kind of programming the various different stakeholders in this field house might have moving forward. Looking forward to starting that in about 5 or 6 minutes with a number of stakeholders who live in the immediate area. Yeah, it looks like a perfect long weekend. Remember, Monday is Truth and Reconciliation Day. There are lots of different ways to observe that, and a quick Google search online will bring you to the report. Rereading the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's report is probably one of the best things that you can do on TRC Day on Monday. Kitchissippi, have a great week. Thanks for watching.